Hi, I'm Steve Rowe, CEO at Oaknoll. I'm recording this video the afternoon of Thursday, June 20th. It will be uploaded and available to you by Friday, June 21st. It's been a few weeks since I have recorded. It's the first week of summer today, and although it feels like it's been summer for quite some time, the calendar says June 20th is the official start of summer, so welcome to summer. I want to start this video with a huge thank you to our events planning team and our dining services staff. Last Friday night, the weather was perfect for our block party event. I went home and brought April and our dogs back to listen to the music for a while, and the food line was absolutely constant the entire time that we were there. There was always a long line of people waiting to get their food. I know that we had set up almost 200 chairs initially the afternoon before the party started, and we had to go back and get a bunch more folding chairs to accommodate everybody who was there. So thank you if you were one of the people that participated in the block party event this last Friday. It looked like everybody was having a really nice time, good music, good food, and good friends. So thanks for being a part of that. Then this past Tuesday, we started off our summer concert series with Kevin Burt. Unfortunately, the weather didn't quite cooperate. It was quite warm Tuesday afternoon, so the decision was made to move the concert inside to the community room. But again, we had a pretty full house, good music and good food. So we will continue the summer concert series already. Coming up this next Tuesday will be the first concert at the East Campus, and that is with Mark Jansen and the Locals. And the meal for next Tuesday's concert will be build your own salad, fresh fruit, and raspberry lemon tart. So hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll have a nice event next Tuesday evening at the East Campus courtyard. My COVID update will be very short. To the best of my knowledge, we have nobody, either resident or staff, who is COVID positive at this point in time. The rest of my update will not be very short. This will probably be one of my longer videos. I've got a few things to update you on. First, I want to provide an update on the 1201 West Benton property across the street from our main campus. Over the past couple weeks, we've made decisions regarding some of the mechanical systems that will operate that building. One of our goals for this project is to build as sustainably as we can, and that goal was communicated with the architect and with the designer and is being reflected in some of the finish selections and things that we are making. But related to the mechanical systems, it's important that each of the 12 resident rooms have their own thermostat and their own controls, so that if somebody prefers to have their room set at 85 degrees and somebody else next door prefers to have their room set at 73 degrees, that both residents can be accommodated. So the system is being designed and built that each individual room will have its own controls, but ultimately the heating and air conditioning systems are run by a geothermal system. This system is going to be different than the geothermal that is at the Spring building. So in the Spring building, we bring water up from the aquifer about 460 feet down below us at surface level. The water comes up, is circulated through the building, and then is injected back into the aquifer. That is what is called an open system, where we're pulling water up and then putting it back. A closed system is what we will have at 1201 West Benton, and that is there will be a series of holes. There's probably 35 to 40 100-foot holes that coils or tubes, however you think about it, I guess tubes is a better description, will be inserted into those 35 to 40 holes. They're all connected, and after they're connected and filled with liquid, then the system is closed. And what generates heat in the winter and cool in the summer is the circulation down through those 100 feet into the ground and back up again 35 or 40 times. We're just basically using the constant temperature of the earth at about 50 degrees to heat or cool the building. It is more expensive to do this option. The upfront construction cost, it adds about $250,000 to the upfront cost of construction to add this geothermal system. We believe that it's the right investment to make because operationally it will be more efficient and less costly on a monthly basis as we pay our utility bills. And more, maybe even more importantly, the carbon emissions from this geothermal system and all of the mechanical systems that will be in the building will generate 50% less carbon emissions than if we used a traditional heating and cooling system. So we are spending more money up front and we'll recoup it in efficiencies and knowing that we're doing the right thing. We are also looking and most likely will be adding solar panels to the roof of that building. They won't really be visible to almost everyone, it's like unless you're flying a drone over the top of the building, but it will be something that's there and that helps to offset some of the energy usage of the building. So it's probably, the solar panels probably won't generate enough electricity to fully operate the building, but it will at least reduce our energy reliance on outside sources, which again will in the long run save us some cash. If you are interested in helping us to pay for these sustainability measures, we would absolutely love to have your financial support. You can do that by writing a check to the Oaknoll Foundation. Let us know that you want it to be used for the geothermal system and or the solar system at 1201 West Benton. Again, the full cost, incremental cost of doing geothermal and solar is going to add about $360,000 to the cost of the project. We will recoup that over time, and we will be much less. We'll generate much less carbon emissions with those systems. And as I said, it's about 50% saving or reduction there. So please, I'm cautiously optimistic that we can raise that money. And if that is one of your passions, please help us to meet that goal. I also want to tell you about some recent developments near our East Campus. So I'm going to take us back a couple of years. Some East residents had asked me to explore with ACT whether we could buy part of their campus to expand and add an assisted living building at the East Campus. We did explore that. The response from ACT when we asked is they were not interested in selling us small parcels of their campus. They had just recently done the transaction to sell the building that's immediately north of our East Campus to the Iowa City Community School District, both the building and the parking lot that are immediately north of our parking lot. So that was kind of off the table, and that would have been the ideal site for us to acquire. They were not interested in piecemealing out other portions of their campus. What has changed between a couple of years ago and now is that about a year ago, they hired a broker to represent them in the sale of the entire campus. And they have fairly recently come to a deal with a developer who has a purchase agreement with ACT, and this is my understanding from talking with the developer, that he has a purchase agreement with ACT to buy their entire 400-acre campus and the buildings on that campus, excluding what they had already sold to the Iowa City School District. So the developer reached out to me maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago asked us if we were potentially interested, said yes. We got a tour. So Tom Bender is our board president. Tom and I met with the developer right before I left on vacation. So this was the week of May 22nd, I believe. And we met with the developer, did a tour of the campus, talked through some ideas there. Both Tom and I really liked what we saw, and we immediately scheduled a meeting with our planning and development committee members of the board of directors for the week after I got back from vacation. So last Tuesday, June 11th, the Planning and Development Committee members of our board did the exact same tour that Tom and I had done a couple weeks prior. Everybody is excited about the opportunities there. There are beautiful office buildings and a really park-like campus at ACT. And we have a developer now who appears interested in allowing us to purchase certain parts of that campus that would make the most sense for Oaknoll. So we are exploring that option. We are trying to figure out what a reasonable offer would be for either the buildings or adjacent land to those buildings. And the land that we're most interested in is either immediately east of our east campus, so across the wooded ravine, and it's kind of the area close to ACT's main entrance. If you are directly east of that main driveway, there's a big wide open space that could potentially be somewhere that would be relatively easy to build on, and the other parcel would be northwest of our east campus. There's a lot of open land there, and the wooded ravine kind of immediately west of the campus that we have. So we are exploring those options. We are trying to develop a kind of financial feasibility model with fairly limited information right now. So just trying to figure out how to make this make sense so that it would be a financially viable project, unlike the assisted living building that we had proposed and gotten approval with the city on our existing land. That one just wasn't financially viable unless we had a very generous contribution and somebody wanted to basically finance the entire cost of construction. That's not probably a reasonable ask. So we're trying to explore other options and figure out something that would be financially viable. So that's what I can tell you about Oaknoll East and the possible expansion to some of ACT's current property. We are trying to make that happen and figure it out and be prudent as we do that. So there will be more to come on that as we learn more and as we explore that further, but that's what I can share with you at this point. The last thing I want to tell you about, and thank you for anybody, several of you who have asked about my poker experience while I was on vacation. I played 2 events in the World Series of Poker. The first one was terrible. We won't talk about that. The second one was really good and a lot of fun. There were over 4,700 entries into this tournament. The entry fee for it was $800, and the prize pool was over $3.3 million, with about $330,000 to first place. There were a total, as I said, 4,700 entries. The top 15% make the money and get at least their buy-in back, plus usually another buy-in's worth. So the minimum cash was about $1,600. 710 places paid. I went out in about 835th place. So I survived more than like 3,800 entries. I played for over 8.5 hours. And where I lost most of my chips, I had built up a stack from 40,000 chips that we started with up to 251,000 at the high point. I lost most of my chips when I had a really good hand. I had pocket kings, and I lost to a really good hand, a better hand, pocket aces. and it was quite sad. But after that, I kind of went out very quickly, but got really close to the money, had a great time. I always learn something every time I play, and hopefully the next time I do it, I will actually get in the money. So hope you're all doing well. That's my story. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.